Hello ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about proving triangles congruent. We're going to talk about two different ways we're going to do that. The first way is an angle-side-angle congruence postulate, and the second one is a theorem that we'll talk about in just a moment. Angle-side-angle congruence postulate is very similar to the side-angle-side congruence postulate. In this case, instead of two pairs of congruent sides, we have two pairs of congruent angles. And we have the included side is the pair of corresponding sides. So you have two pairs of corresponding angles that are congruent and the side that's in between. So included side, I always think of it being in between. So this is another shortcut we can add to our repertoire of ways we can show the two triangles are congruent. Angle-side-angle congruence postulate. The next one's a theorem, which means it has been proven before. And if you're looking for the proof being worked out for you, it's example 2 on page 250 in your textbook, right here. And that's your angle-angle-side congruence theorem. It's very similar to the one we just talked about. This one says if you have two pairs of angles, but the non-included side, so the side is not in between your two angles, it's like over to the side. So it's not included, which means it's not between. If you can show that this setup is occurring, then your triangles will also be congruent. And we're going to go over a summary page at the very end of all the 5 ways we talked about, just so we can see them in a nice, kind of organized fashion. Let's do some examples involving these two to kind of solidify our understanding, though. Can the triangles be proven congruent with the information given in the diagram? If so, state the postulate or theorem you would use. Well, for part A, we have a pair of angles that are corresponding and a pair of sides that are corresponding and congruent. Also from the diagram, I can see that I have a pair of vertical angles. So I have two pairs of angles and a side. Well, in this case, since the side is not in between our two angles, we're not going to use angle, side, angle. It's angle, angle, side. And if you look at spelt for us, angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. So that's the one we can use. So yes, angle, angle, side. For part B, we have 3 pairs of corresponding angles being congruent. And we have no pairs of corresponding sides. Well, that would mean this is something like the angle, angle, angle congruence, postulate or theorem. But we haven't talked about an angle, angle, angle shortcut. So this one's actually not possible. Because angle, angle, angle is not one of our shortcuts. It is a shortcut for proving that two triangles are similar, as we'll discuss in Chapter 6 when we come back from Christmas break. But for now, we cannot use it for congruence. In our last example, we have 2 pairs of corresponding congruent angles. That's not enough. We don't have anything that's just 2 A's. But we do have a shared side here. So in this case, we're going to use angle, side, angle, because we have an angle, the side in the middle, the other angle, side in the middle, other angle. So it's angle, side, angle. And let's do a proof with this as the last kind of short example. These notes are going to be very short today. We're going to complete this proof, and if this were on a quiz or test or homework assignment, usually it will say copy and complete, so you know to copy the whole thing, the picture, the given, the proof, and your chart. So in this case, we're given some information about these lines being parallel and these segments being congruent, and we're going to split these up so that we can take each piece step by step. Well, first of all, we have a pair of parallel sides that are given to us, these right here. And if I were to extend these to make this picture look just a little bit more familiar, I have 2 parallel lines and a transversal. That means that I have these 2 angles are congruent, UWX and VYZ. That's because they are corresponding angles. They're in the same position, so they're going to be corresponding, which means they're congruent. So fantastic, we have a pair of congruent angles. Whenever you see that you have lines parallel, you're going to use something with your special angle pairs to prove that certain angles are congruent, whether they're corresponding or alternate interior or something else. So again, we have a second pair of parallel lines here, and that was given to us. And that allows us to say that angle UXW and VZY, these two angles are going to be congruent, and again, because they're corresponding. So we have two pairs of angles. That means we need something with some sides. Well, fortunately, we're given that we have a pair of sides are congruent. Which is great. And so in this case, I have an angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle. So I can say these two triangles are congruent because of the angle, side, angle congruence postulate. And there's my proof. That concludes the abbreviated short notes for section 4.5. Hopefully they are helpful. We'll be discussing this more at length when we meet in class next.